Hello. Life is weird. Life is even weirder now, though, so we're kind of just saying to hell with it and bringing this back. Of course, the second I started filming, I realized I don't want to be wearing my hoodie, so we're going to just awkwardly take this off. But that's how it goes. The second you see yourself on, you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted because it's a little warm in here as it is. So don't need that. Uh, Welcome. Glad to have you here. Trying this as a live stream for the very first time. Lovely beer. I think I did a review on this one a long time ago in written format. It's the Zywiec order. I don't speak Polish. Let me know if I pronounced it wrong. I think I got it okay. And we're also going to listen to a record. Jesus, the glare is awful. Not used to being able to see myself so well. There we go. Let's see. This is Xothist. As well, I can see the live chat comments. Hello to those who've left comments. It's good to see you. I like you guys. Xothist is really cool. This is 5 tracks, 3 on the first side, 2 on the second. They're quite long, which seems about right for being stuck indoors. So, don't need to turn on the tape deck for this one. So if all goes well, I've turned on the turntable. If not, I turn on the tape deck, and I always forget which is which. So this record is a classic from the golden early age of Fallen Empire records, and they were really taking off, I want to say, around like 2000. Cosmic black metal, if that's your sort of thing, it's certainly mine. But it's not cosmic in the beautiful way, I find it beautiful, but it's harrowing and spooky. So just making sure I've got side A on to start, because I'm, particular about that. Yep. There you go. All right. So here we are. Hello, friends. I see more of you have joined. Welcome. And of course, if you're watching this after the live stream, you've probably been here since minute 1, for which I apologize. While we wait for the record to really kick in, but it also takes a minute, to build up that momentum. I can hear a slight hum from it. You probably cannot. You're more likely able to hear my neighbors upstairs or my girlfriend listening to her own music in the other room, which is also really good music, but it's not what I'm playing today. Of course, I've managed to get the corkscrew wedged into the bottle opening part of this. Got to do it all wrong the first time you do it live, right? There we go. So, hello. Now we're really kicking in. Got these novelty wine glasses I got at Dollar Tree a while ago. As a joke, I think this is goth or goth adjacent. I feel like your home decor needs to be culled from the easiest, most cartoonish aspects of it. Like, I think all of us love Halloween stuff, but I always like the campy side, not the actual horror side so much. For beer glassware for the time being. So yeah, I probably should have picked a record that didn't start so slow, but it kicks in a moment here. It's really good, and I guess that's because I'm always striving to connect things. It's like how this is a little frothy, and it's going to take me a second. Otherwise, I'll have a foam mustache, which is not my best possible look. There we go. So, hopefully my volume levels are okay. I haven't done this live, and I haven't done it with my computer speakers.
So let's see. This could be total shit. We'll see. It tells me that it's tracking sound, but it looks like it's all really quiet. So hopefully that's fine. So times are weird. We are living in an age of pandemic. If you're like me, you've mostly not left the house except for to get groceries in a week or more now. Or to go on walks, because if you're not touching anything or touching anybody or doing anything where people are, I feel like that's safe and okay. Playing it all by ear because the people in charge aren't really helping much, are they? So you can hear this isn't quite like Dark Space or something where it's repetitive and tinny. So much it's just like this is really gnarly. It's got that kind of mid-pace stomp if you can hear the drums at all. But it's so thick, it's so suffocating and fucked up, which is kind of how things are right now in the world. So there you go. It feels weird to even be doing this, but also I don't know what else I can do. We're looking for that sense of community and doing interesting things. This beer, I don't know if you've had it. I used to get it at Whole Foods, now I get it from the Polish market in my neighborhood. So I go and I get pierogies and pickles and beer, but it's just really nice malty to the point of bitterness, but not into hot bitterness, as I'm sure you know. Nice malty beer. And anyway, it's quite dark, quite heavy. I remember first drinking beers like this, thinking they'd be like a Guinness, which is kind of, it's dark, but it's smooth and creamy and kind of like, almost has that, I haven't had milk itself in years, just that milky sort of thin-bodied. It's just really, really kind of chocolate, coffee, sort of intense malt flavors, which I really enjoy. Well, hello, more of you tuning in. It's nice to have such love. I'm going to try and do this every day for at least 15 minutes. So either you guys will get sick of it after the first time, or this will be really cool for all of us. I feel bad. I should have asked the fellow responsible for it. I believe this is the guy who does this. Is a one-man band, if I recall. Used to play keyboards in Tall and Men, which is a very different group from this sort of sound. Much more Tall and Men, if you don't know. I'm obsessed with them. I'm sure many of you already know that. They're kind of a very somber, fuzzy post-punk, stripped to the barest elements. It's like tape hiss, drum machine, bass guitar, and keyboards, and a shitload of reverb. It's perfect. But this is thick in the way that is a reverb chamber. They both have a lot of reverb though, so that's cool. So I don't know. It's really weird trying to normalize things or trying to live normally. We don't know if we're going, to get better real quick, or if things will be like this and worse. It's really hard to say. As you know, if you know me, I've been out of work for almost a year on disability as it is, so this is perhaps more normal for me than for a lot of the rest of you. Still not great. Because I would have been able to say, oh, I'm having an okay health day. There's a restaurant a block from home. I'll go there. I can't. I'm taking any of those risks. Don't be a ding dong. Don't go sit in a place full of people. And don't do anything that's causing others to do it. None of us have money right now. I get it. And so if you are a tipped worker, especially, I get how scary it is, but it's even scarier to get a disease. So yeah. The recording is a mess in the best way, I think. I love when it sounds like this, where it's just all kind of crashing in on itself from every side. And there's distinct riffs, but it's more about the totality of the thing rather than a simple component. Or that menacing turn it just took there, I love that. Like, you can still trace the roots of like a lot of the second wave riffing to this, but like it's so much more than that, and I love it. You kind of have that queasy, dissonant, industrial, mechanical feel of like Bloodhouse North's work with Transforms God. You can also hear like early black metal and even some of the more psychedelic stuff. Like, I know it's a dirty word at this point, but some of the kind of middle age, not Mystium stuff before they became known for anything really, like the Instant Decay era. You can kind of hear that in the guitars and in the production. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fucking cool. I hope you do too. If you haven't heard this before, again, I'm going to put a link. And if you have, maybe tomorrow I'll play something that you haven't. I've got a lot of beers and I've even more tapes and records. Put on a record today just because, it's fun to play. I really like it's kind of interesting. Like, you can almost tell that this is somebody that came from like the noise experimental scene. So I've been asked which Xothist album this is. This is called Simulacrum. But then you've also got like the weird kind of cut paste collage sort of look going to it, which I think is a really cool contrast personally. Well, it's not even a contrast; it's a compliment, really. I'm so much smarter when I'm left to write and edit this stuff myself, rather than just speak and hope for the best, as one does. But yeah, I think this record rips. This artist just rips in general. As was pointed out, there's more than one Xothist album. There's the self-titled, which I think has like red art. It's been a minute since I pulled that one out. It's been a minute since I've used the turntable at all. But really trying to make the most of this and not just going to keep sitting in bed being depressed. Maybe I will sometimes. Unfortunately, when you're depressed and the world is shit, it's hard not to. But I'm trying to do more. I've done some productive things today to take a little more control of my life. Yesterday or the day prior, I sent a pitch to a publication. I haven't done that in a minute. I'll keep writing and pitching anyway. Just that one won't work. I've relaunched my Patreon. I don't have special things to offer right now. I'm thinking of making daily playlists of like 10 songs that I may put on there. But I know all of us are broke, so I'm trying not to make it like some sort of gated thing where I'm keeping people out of stuff I'm sharing. Everything's always going to be public. I just think that I'm disabled and I'm poor, and now my better half is out of work indefinitely because of this as well. So if you want to give me a couple dollars, say no, and I hope to make it worth your while because we all help each other. I help when I can, where I can, and I hope that's been known and clear. The way that guitar comes in, like that guitar tone is, I realize it's garbage. I think it sounds great. I love the guitars. I love the weird vocal choirs. And I love that sort of sound. Maybe it's because I listen in an idiosyncratic way and this almost forces me to dive tighter into it and just really focus. I don't know. Because I also really like good production. I listen to a lot of very, clean things. If you know me, I like stuff like the Talking Heads and stuff, which is not exactly raw. So I don't know. I'm just really into these intricate, like tapestry sort of recordings where the production almost becomes another instrument itself. I don't think it's meant to be like an extension of the Brian Eno studio as an instrument thing, but it unintentionally it adds something to it that I think would be lost if this was just clean and crisp and direct. I think that's what I like most about black metal, is that just kind of inhuman, otherworldly quality. You know, it's like you're taking a person. It's not human music. It's not rhythmic in the conventional sense. It's not melodic in the conventional sense. Uh, but it still scratches at some sort of, I think, more base, more primal part of us. You know, I mean, otherwise, why would anybody be compelled to hear it? I certainly don't think most people are evil and all that. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, there are evil people, but I don't think that that's such an inherent thing that is being unleashed by music. I think that's more posturing than black gaze bands wearing scarves. You know, like, you're not evil. You know, you probably grew up in a country with a higher standard of living than the rest of us. Your parents are probably still together. You know, like, I think most super evil black metal musicians have not a lot of hardship in life, and that's why they're evil. So when I hear stuff like this, it captures that kind of that temptation to go feral or whatever without feeling like fake in any way. It's just it just feels like reverting to something more instinctive. Or somebody has given me a thumbs up, I'm told. Thank you for that. I guess you can all do that. I'm still learning how this goes. Thank you. Thank you. I've been told that it's good to see I'm making videos again. It's good to see. A long time ago, when I worked at Whole Foods in Portland, and I was a supervisor, which I don't know why anybody would let me be in a position of power anywhere. I had a cashier. I don't think this one is going to be that way. It's quite cacophonous, I think, in a way. But you know, I'm trying to do something familiar and, again, grounding for myself and hopefully for the rest of us. I'm hearing this fade now, and I think it's time to flip the record. Or do we want to put on something else? We'll see. If anybody leaves a comment in the next second telling me to change it, I will. Otherwise, I'm just going to flip the record. Is kind of, yeah, I got the flip it from Vincent. Thank you. That's what I figured I'd do. You know, it's nice to have fall into a habit of just kind of sitting still, not doing much. I mean, I'm guilty of that, especially, again, I've spent most of the last year not being well, not doing much. So it's cool to, you know, I've done too much. It's easy to play a video game all day, or even get lost in a book. Stretching your limbs and moving and just, not being stationary is so vital. Many of you know I was hospitalized last year for my colitis. I was also hospitalized like a month and a half later for a blood clot that could have killed me. I had pulmonary embolism. That kills people all the time. And sitting still, especially if you're sitting in bed, really, really bad for you. You can get blood clots in your legs. Move around. Drink a lot of water, all that stuff, but move around as much as you can. It doesn't mean you have to be, jogging in place. Although I'm sure that there are some of you who do that sort of thing. But get up and move every little bit. It's really good for your circulation, and you'll really appreciate staying active when you're able to get back out into the world again. Trust me. I take blood thinners every day now because I don't want to get a blood clot and die. So I don't know. I'm just going to enjoy the record for a minute. So if any of you have anything to say, I'll respond to it. It's just nice to connect with people. And it's, nice to share. I don't know if any of you have accomplished anything lately or anything cool to share of your own. Tell me. Oh, hello, Eric. Cheers to all of you. I realize that for my West Coast friends, it's probably a little early to be drinking, but when you're on quarantine, it's never early. For those on the East Coast and Europe, this is probably perfect time. So cheers. Hopefully soon we can all have drinks together. Oh, there's two. Especially considering I'm not exactly the sort of person to have 30 people in here or more at the time. It's it's cool to have two of the same name. That's actually really neat. And oh yeah, I wonder how many people are working drunk while this is going on. It's kind of been a thought. It's like, I mean, I don't condone that, but it's just a reality. I know there are people who are working high, or who are, if they don't have to be on camera, they're probably working. But I'm doing my best to stay sane during this. And this is how I'm doing it. If any of you have tips, I'd love them. Whether it's live or in a comment later, because goodness knows this is just the beginning of something that could be really long. And I know I'm not supposed to touch my face, but I don't know how not to touch my face. My vision sucks. Heater Allen Marzen, I've heard that one's wonderful. I haven't had it. Heater Allen makes great beer. And yeah, Zywiec is great. Like, as far as an affordable beer, I want to say this is like $2.99. It's a big bottle. Like, I don't have tiny hands. I'm neither a small nor large person. It's a good deal. I've got some fancier beers, but I wasn't really sure how this would go today. Like, I've got a 120-minute in the fridge that I'll probably drink for the next couple of days. Yeah, I like that everybody is just holding off drinking on the West Coast because they're working, and otherwise they would be. I'm glad that many of you are able to work during this. And if you're not able to work during this and want to commiserate in any way, even when I'm not doing this, reach out to me. Like, I'm happy to talk. I've got nothing but time, and I will hear you commiserate, etc. I feel like I've maybe had 2 bottles of it before, maybe 3. I forget. The first time I had it, it was like shared from the bottle around a bonfire in somebody's backyard when I lived in Florida. And if I recall, my memory is like, it's hoppy, so bitter it's sweet, kind of in the way, like, if you get into a really cold, like, pool, like if you're in ice water, it feels hot almost. Like, I feel like that's how the hoppiness of 120-minute is. But I don't remember. And also, I was much more okay with IPAs at that point. I don't drink a lot of IPAs anymore, as a lot of people know. And Jaden, I'm glad this is grounding for you. It's grounding for me. So I feel like I'm losing my mind otherwise. That's not true. I'm anxious. I'm not losing my mind. But it's hard not to be, Earlier, maybe once before. But like, I was like, I could hear things when I was drinking, but I couldn't open my eyes and I couldn't wake up, and I was like convinced that I was like dying of the coronavirus or COVID-19. I'm not supposed to say corona. So it was weird having that moment of like, I can't wake up, what's going on? So there's clearly more underlying stress than we realize we have, at least with me. Maybe you guys are all very aware. And Vincent, I feel that. I mean, you know me well. When I turned 21, I lived about a block and a half from the Russian River Brewing Company. So Pliny the Elder was just my happy hour beer. It's just, it's what it is. I think that the IPA is still a good style, but I think many of them are like drinking pine salt. That's not fair. Many of them are just kind of a bitterness pissing contest. There's no point to it. And they're not that good tasting. I want to enjoy my stuff. And I don't care. I spent the last few summers really into Kolsch's. I really like light beer now, just because I can drink more of it and it tastes good. Sours, wild ale, you know, gozas. I still love my dark stout Belgian style beers, but you know, there's something to be said about a beer that's not overwhelming. But yeah, no, like there's a lot of West Coast beers I wish I had access to. Like the brewery makes a lot of good ones. Uh, I mean, I haven't had any good stuff from Russian River in a while. I really miss having the. I know that Pliny's the one who really talks about it. It's great, but like I miss the Damnation and Salvation, especially. Those are good. Um, and Vincent comments about True Brewing. I've never had True beers. I've wanted to, but like they're so hard to get. And I'm seeing, okay, I've got to lean in. So my vision sucks. I can see small things, but not dense. Sticky Hands overtook Pliny for Matthew Ward, but he still loves Pliny. Loggers and Pilsner seem to be making a big inroad in Oregon. That's kind of what I've heard. I feel like Portland's craft brewing scene really got really competitive, and there's a lot of really good stuff with IPAs. I was always partial to what is the name of that one that does all these sour beers? It's like close in southeast. Portland makes really good sour beers. I love them. But yeah, Portland was really IPA heavy, so it's cool to see lager and pilsner beers coming back. I feel like people need a break from the heaviness. And gosh, and I think Hair of the Dog was the other one. Commons. I feel like that might be it. I feel like they had a barrel on their beer logos because I miss the beer in Portland. But I'm enjoying myself out here too. We've got a lot of good stuff. I just happen to spend the better part of now 15, 16 months too ill to really go out. I can stay in and do stuff, but I will probably feel sick afterwards later. I'm glad to hear Cascade is still around. That doesn't surprise me. I'd like to see them stay around for a long time because they're great. And hopefully I'll get some of their beers one of these days. I never did do beer trades. I know a lot of people who do and did. I was always afraid of getting in trouble doing that. So I've never shipped or received beer. So like I feel like I'm limited to what the specialty beer stores in my area have. But yeah. So anyway, I do have some special interesting beers beyond the 120 minute. Memory eludes me, honestly. Some of them are $3 bottles that are just really good, and some of them are fancy big things. I will probably drink them all in the next few weeks because what else do I have to do? What else do we have to do? Yeah, this music is exhilarating to me. I hope that you find it to be so as well. I forget if there's one more. It's been a while since I put this on. Yeah, we got another song, and I've never filmed this long, I don't believe. But I figured it only makes sense. We'll do an album since I've got people here chatting with me. We can enjoy each other's company. I'll try and make this thing more or less around this time each day. If you guys are into that. If later or earlier is better, let me know. I think I started around 6. That kind of eccentricity always endears me to bands, and with these guys especially, I think that's what stuck out. I was strict, kind of second wave worship at the time I got into this, and it was really cool to hear that melded with stuff that was a little. Just gonna let this play for a sec. It's weird seeing yourself on camera and realizing your shirt is getting over. There's a car alarm going off in the neighborhood. It goes off like, I feel like it's somebody's way of starting their vehicle. It just has an alarm. It's so annoying, but also it's oddly comforting that it's still happening while the world is kind of slowed down. I don't know how many of you ever listened to Moivop, or if I'm pronouncing that right, but stuff like this kind of fills that. Am I thinking Moivop or Akon Kitra? I don't even remember anymore. I'm terrible at this stuff. Xothist, I don't know. Xothist. I'm going to put a link to it in the comments to this when I've finished, or in the description. I don't know how it works. Yeah, this has some serious kind of like LLM. Yeah, I wonder what this guy's up to. He hasn't put out an album in quite a while. I know I could ask. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of like a nice little denouement for the album. A nice way of wrapping things up, and it's probably good for me to wind down the video rather than just have it be like and stop slowly. I think I'm going to unwind here in a minute, and thank you, Jaden. Have a nice night. Interesting or two. So Black Metal and Brews as a live stream thing. I've enjoyed this. I hope you guys have. It's nice to soften nagging. Yeah, it's fun to do this. I hope you're having fun. I hope you're being safe. I hope you're well. If you're not feeling well, don't ask me for advice. The CDC has lots of good advice. Don't trust your friends on Facebook as much as you should trust the professionals who know this, unless your friends work in healthcare. Again, I'll link to Xothist in the comments or in the description. I'll link to Zywiec. It's a widely distributed cheap beer. It's not hard to find, but I'll link to it anyway. I'm back on Patreon if you wish to support, but if you're broke like me, don't feel obligated. It's just a way of me trying to keep myself slightly sustained to justify these beers I bought before I did this. I'm Ben. You're you. Thanks for being here.